I'm here with Michelle Bauer, and Michelle is a sea turtle rehab specialist here at the center. So Michelle, tell us about the sea turtle that you have. What kind of species is it?
Well, this is a juvenile green sea turtle, and it's found a lot here in Florida in our intercoastal waterways where there's primarily a lot of seagrass beds for them to forage on, and then as they get older and larger, they go out to the open ocean.
Okay. And what kind of problems do you encounter, that you see a lot of problems with sea turtles?
Well, we see just about everything that you can imagine. We get ingestion of foreign objects is a big one. Sea turtles, loggerheads, greens, they're all opportunistic feeders. So if they can catch it, if it's floating, if it looks like a jellyfish, they'll eat it. We've pulled out cigarette butts, candy wrappers, just about everything out of a sea turtle, fishing line, balloons, streamers.
Wow.
So they'll eat just about anything. We get them entangled in crab traps and fishing line that's left out there and discarded. And that actually causes amputations or even strangulation on these guys. And then there's boat propeller injuries that we see, and those can be pretty damaging. And then some sort of natural events like cold stunning events when the weather drops. So.
Well, what kind of things do you do with them when they come into the center? Then how do you get them? Do you get them off the beach, or how do you deal with the turtles that come in?
Definitely a variety of ways. When they get very sick, they slow down. They can either be beached on the sand, or they'll be found by boaters just floating in the ocean because they're really sick. So they kind of just start shutting down when they get sick. So we can get them just a variety of ways. Beachgoers walking, find them, give them to beach patrol, call the police departments, call the FWC. Boaters find them, so just a variety of ways. And like right now, we're actually out looking for them. So.
Okay. And so if I find an injured sea turtle on the beach, what should I do?
Well, just basically just kind of, stand there where it is, try to get somebody to call the Fish and Wildlife or the police department, or if there's a beach patrol, they'll know the people to call to know what to do to rescue these guys.
So once a turtle comes into the facility, then what is your procedure to help rehabilitate them?
Well, basically they come in, they get a standard health assessment. It's like going to your normal ER. We take blood from them, we check their glucose. A lot of them haven't eaten for a long time, so they're starving. We give them fluids, we get their body temperature slowly where it needs to be. These are cold-blooded animals, so whatever the water temperature is their body temperature. They get radiographs, they get antibiotics, any minor surgeries we can do here as well. And we can do endoscopy, those sort of procedures as well.
So Michelle, what's wrong with this green turtle specifically?
Oh, this juvenile green sea turtle is one of, so far, at least over 400 that have stranded here on the east side of Central Florida. They are basically what we call a cold stun sea turtle, where the water temperature has dropped too low for them to be able to survive since they are cold-blooded. So they basically, their entire systems just start to shut down and they just start floating.
So we hear the term cold stunned a lot when it comes to sea turtles. What exactly does that mean?
Well, basically, like the event we are basically currently in, the water temperature is sitting around the 60-degree mark, and then we get these cold fronts move that are long periods of time and really harsh, and the water temp goes from 60 to 40 degrees. And where these guys are actually cold-blooded, and their body temp is the same as their environment. So when the water goes from 60 to 40 and they drop that fast, it basically just almost paralyzes them to where they can't move, they can't function, they stop digesting food. So when they come in, their internal core temp is actually 40 degrees. That's 10 degrees above freezing. So they're almost actually frozen.
Wow, that's awful. And then how do you warm them up? I mean, can you just put them in front of a heater, or what can you do?
It's a very slow and careful process. You warm them up too fast, you'll actually start cooking the cells. So we just take
You don't want to do that.
No, definitely. We just take it very slow, very careful. Let them each warm up in their own amount of time. And then after 72 hours or so, depends on what the turtle starts doing, we start to try to introduce them to water.
Okay. And then how long are they in the water before they're... Oh, he's yawning.
We're waiting for Mother Nature, essentially, once that point hits. When they're swimming, we're just waiting for the water temperature to rise back into the 60s again so we can throw them in the water and put them back where they belong.
And then how long would you say, I mean, is there like an average amount of time that you have them in the rehabilitation center before you can release them back into the wild, or is each turtle on a different basis?
Well, each turtle's on a different basis. Some turtles will have them, but we can't release them because it's too cold. So they might be ready to go, but it's just Mother Nature's not cooperating for us to put them back out. So once she warms up, the waters warm up, there'll be a few hundred sea turtles released, and then any of the ones that came in that had other injuries, we'll finish the rehab out. That can take as long as, I've had it 2 years actually for some rehab. So.
Wow, that's a lot. You should have a big release party and sea turtles everywhere.
We actually do.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much for talking to us.
Not a problem.